What's up, veterans and viewers around the world, and welcome back to VA 100%. As usual, I'm Nate, your host, and today's video you don't want to miss. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 10 most common or most claimed VA disabilities. And it's very important, this video, in my opinion, because 86 or more percent of veterans believe themselves to be underrated by the VA. And I think that one of those reasons is because they don't know what they can claim. A lot of us don't know that certain things are disabilities, such as ringing in your ears. A lot of people just don't know that that's a disability. Flat feet. A lot of people don't know that you can claim it. IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome. A lot of people don't know you can claim that as a disability through the VA. So without further ado, don't lack integrity. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and leave a like on the video because I'm telling you, you're gonna like the content that you're about to see. So let's get into it. All right, starting at number 10, degenerative arthritis of the spine. Yeah, I didn't even know what this was, but it's a common disability. It's our 10th most common VA disability. But what is it? And why is it so common? Number 10, degenerative arthritis of the spine. All right, so let's check this one out because this is one I didn't know about. So when osteoarthritis affects the spine, it's known as spondylosis or whatever that is. All right, so this is a degenerative disorder that can cause loss of normal spinal structure and function. So that is what it is. And let's see what causes it. So it may be related to wear and tear, autoimmune disorders, infection, and other conditions. Sometimes the inflammation may also affect the sites where ligaments and tendons attach to the bones of the spine. So regardless of the exact location, arthritis in the back or neck can be painful and often becomes chronic. And that's a big deal. It is a chronic condition. And finally, let's make it more specific. Why do military members have this issue? So likely causes, at least in part, for the relatively high rates of OA among military members includes the physical stresses associated with military training, such as running in formation, operations, heavy load bearing, prolonged wearing of body armor, and occupations such as drivers and crews of military vehicles. So this is what degenerative arthritis of the spine is, some of the symptoms of it, and it is a chronic issue or will become one, and why military members, so veterans like you and I, suffer from this issue. All of this is good information. But hey, let's get to number 9. All right, guys, coming in at number 9, migraines. Ooh, that is actually one that I suffer from very frequently. It actually incapacitates me. But let's get into what a migraine is and why it's so commonly claimed. Number 9, migraines. A migraine is a headache that can cause severe throbbing pain or pulsing sensation, usually on one side of the head. It's often accompanied by nausea, vomiting, and extreme sensitivity to light and sound. I suffer from migraines, and when I say this sensitivity to light and sound is crazy. All right, but what pretty much causes migraines, right? That's going to be the next question. So there are 4 major migraine triggers to be aware of: travel, weather changes, stress, and menstruation. In addition, too much or too little sleep, physical exhaustion, certain foods and alcohol, and bright and flashing lights can trigger an attack. All of this is absolutely true. So for those of you that have sleep issues, you exert yourself too much, you drink a little bit, maybe too much, or maybe just drinking in general, TV, cell phone lights, those things can cause you to have migraines. And let's get more specific for us veterans, right? Why do military members have these? So the problem is that many men and women in the military are developing debilitating migraine conditions as a result of continuous stress. For some of these military migraine patients, their condition may have been latent or dormant, but for others, it is a new medical issue. For me personally, I never had migraines until well into my military career. I want to say it was probably around my, ninth year of service when I experienced my first migraine. So, yeah, so the stressful conditions that military members go through and live through for many years at a time. I mean, even if you think about it, a tour is 4 years. So a contract is 4 years. So you're going to experience stress for at least 4 years of your career. So yeah, that's number 9. So let's get to number 8. Wait a minute. Before I move further, you're a veteran just like I am. So you should have integrity, right? So go ahead and do the integral thing. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. And like the video if you haven't already done so. Back to the content. Our 8th most common VA disability that is claimed by veterans is limitation of range of motion of the ankle. Why is it so commonly claimed though? Number 8, limitation of range of motion of the ankle. Check this out, y'all. This one is so common that as soon as I typed in limitation of rain, it popped right up as the first Google search. Like this is one of the most searched Google injuries. Like look at that. So let's get into what it is. Normal range of motion of the ankle is 0 to 20 degrees of flexion and 0 to 45 degrees of plantar flexion. Moderate limitation of ankle motion will be present when there is less than 15 degrees flexion or less than 30 degrees plantar flexion. What causes this? All right, so ankle injuries can also affect ankle dorsiflexion range of motion because of ankle pain and scar tissue formation. Injuries limiting ankle dorsiflexion include fractures, Achilles tendon ruptures, ligament tears, such as ACL injuries, arthritis, shin splints, plantar fasciitis, and ankle sprains. All of these things are super common in the military community. So let's get even more specific. Why do military members suffer from this? Traumatic injuries or accidents can also cause unnoticed damage to the ankle, such as veterans involved in parachuting accidents. An improperly handled ankle sprain increases the risk of another in the future. Repeated sprains can cause problems such as instability and limited range of motion. So all of my PJs, my pararescuemen, my airborne folks, I'm pretty sure you got this. I have this. This is something I actually have, and I flew a desk. I literally worked at a desk for over 15 and a half years in the Air Force on active duty. And I have this just from physical fitness. So that was number 8. Let's get to number 7. Coming in at number 7 is paralysis of the sciatic nerve. I didn't even know what this one was, so I actually had to look it up. But let's get into the information. Number 7, paralysis of the sciatic nerve. All right, y'all, once again, as soon as I typed in paralysis, it popped up. Paralysis of the sciatic nerve. So this is one of the most searched paralysis issues on Google. So what is it? A sciatic nerve condition that involves complete paralysis of the sciatic nerve, which causes all of the muscles in the leg and below the knee to fail to work and causes serious difficulty in bending the knee. Could result in an 80% disability benefits rating. That's big. That's big deal. Like, look at that. Could get 80% just from this. But what causes it? So causes of sciatic nerve palsy include secondary reactions by wear debris, compression from the gluteus maximus tendon, compression by, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that muscle though. More than 50% of nerve palsy causes, the causes remain unknown. But let's get more specific. Why do military members have this issue? Sciatic pain can be due to numerous reasons, such as a herniated disc, bone spur, injury to the back, or any type of injury that results in direct pressure on the sciatic nerve. Many veterans who had a back injury may experience problems such as difficulty walking or paralysis due to sciatica. So, literally, if you fall in or just ran, your form was bad, doing sit ups. If you have a back injury, you could have this one. And as I said, as soon as I typed in paralysis, it came right up. So that was number 7. Let's get to number 6. Number 6 is one that a lot of people have, but they probably don't claim, and it is cervical strain. Number 6, cervical strain. All right, y'all. So cervical strain is a sprain of the ligaments of the cervical spine. It's a common injury routinely seen in the emergency room. A cervical strain is chiefly the result of a stretch injury to the muscular and ligament. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, y'all. I'm not doing it. I can't read. Elements of the cervical spine. So that's what it is. Let's see exactly what causes it. So cervical strain may result from the physical stresses of everyday life, including poor posture, which I definitely had during my service, muscle tension from psychological stress, had that as well, or poor sleeping habits, I had that as well. Sports-related injuries can also result in cervical strain, but let's get specific for military members because this is all about us veterans, right? All right, so most common symptoms of military neck pain. All right, when the bones wear down and the spine curves, it places more pressure on the spine, which can cause significant pain. Spine deformities or unusual curvatures can cause lots of other problems, especially as the curve worsens. So if you ask me, I would think even us administrative folks in the military, sitting at the computer, hunched over all day, that can cause it. Doing sit-ups can cause it. And we do a lot of sit-ups, even if you're in administrative. And for Marine Corps folks, for my Army folks, I know how y'all get down because I had joint deployments. So this is cervical strain, number 6, and we'll move on to number 5. All right, y'all, we made it halfway through the video, and we've only got 5 more disabilities to talk about. But before we do that, if you haven't already liked this video, go ahead and like it because the next 5 are actually really important and they're very common. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, now would be a great time. Just click the button. It's right below the video. So let's get back into number 5. The 5th most common VA disability claim is limitation of flexing or flexing in the knee. Yeah, I didn't know really about this one, so this is another one that I had to look up. Here's the info. Number 5, limitation of flexion of the knee. All right, so limitation of flexion of the knee, the most common service-connected knee condition, refers to the range of motion of the knees as the veteran moves it or curls it inward toward the body. That's what it is. And once again, the most common service-connected knee condition. All right, so what causes this? In general, most limitation of the knee flexion is due to an acute injury, knee swelling, meniscus tear, or arthritis. So one thing about VA disability, if you got this knee, the limitation of knee flexing, you probably have arthritis and things of that, which may be an additional or secondary claim. So let's get it specific to military members though. Service members are often on their feet and performing heavy lifting. So it's no surprise that limitation flexion of the knee ranks high on the list of most common VA disabilities, hence it being number 5. So all you got standing at attention in formation for long periods of time kills us. And we do that from basic training on. But let's move on. Let's get to number 4. The 4th most common claimed VA disability is pretty much just scars. wherever they are around the body. But let's get into the information. Number 4, scars. Yeah, you can claim a scar for VA disability. Yes, you can. We're not going to take too much time on this one. If you don't know what a scar is, it's a mark left on the skin after a wound or injury has healed. Scars form as part of the healing process after your skin has been cut or damaged. So literally, if you fall, scrape your knee or any of those things during a PT test or hurt yourself at work, you may cut yourself or whatnot and form a scar, and you can claim that. So that's number 4. Let's get to the big 3, baby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the third most common VA disability claim is post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Very common, as most of us probably know, especially in the military environment. And we're going to get into the information of what it is. And I mean, pretty sure you already know why it gets claimed, but we'll get into that as well. Number 3, post-traumatic stress disorder, also what we call PTSD for short. All right, y'all. So this is the third most common rated or claimed VA disability. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event, either experiencing it or witnessing it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us have done so. Being abused, harassed, or bullied can cause it, including racism, sexism, homophobia, biphobia, or transphobia, and other types of abuse targeting your identity, being kidnapped, held hostage, or any event in which you fear for your life, experiencing violence, including military combat, a terrorist attack, or any violent assault. Now let's get closer for military members. When you serve in the military, you may be exposed to different traumatic events than civilians. Absolutely. The war you served in may also affect your risk because of the types of trauma that were common. War zone deployment, training accidents, and military sexual trauma, or MST, may lead to PTSD. That's why this is number 3, y'all. A lot of us in the military go through a lot of traumatic and terrifying things. I won't speak about the things I've been through. PTSD, I have not been rated on. However, I was rated on some other things, some other trauma-related issues. But I won't harp on this for too long. But just know if you suffer from this, it is no issue getting help. Do not hold back from seeking mental health treatment. So let's get to number 2. All right, we're at our final 2, y'all. So the second most common VA disability claim is hearing loss. Yeah, so all those folks that are on the flight lines, by the planes, losing their hearing, or they loud bangs, explosions, training, gunfire from the range, training, they have hearing loss. I actually have hearing loss. This is one of the things that I claimed. My left ear actually does not work very well at all. So let's get into the information. Number 2, hearing loss. Causes of hearing loss include damage to the inner ear. Hearing loss is a common problem caused by loud noise, aging, disease, and genetic variations. Don't judge me, y'all. Told y'all I can't read. About 1/3 of older adults have hearing loss, and the chance of developing hearing loss increases with age. People with hearing loss may find it hard to have conversations with friends and family. Most causes of military hearing loss are caused by exposure to loud noises that damage delicate hairs in the inner ear. So all of you military folks that have been on those deployments, I'm pretty sure you have some hearing loss. Because guess what? You got to shoot a gun before you can go down range. With that being said, let's get to our top. Our number 1 most common military disability. All right, everyone. If you're still watching, I really appreciate you. This is our number 1 most common VA disability claim, and it is tinnitus or tinnitus, however you want to pronounce it. but it's ringing in your ears, and it pretty much goes along with that hearing loss, which was number 2 that we just talked about. But let's get into the information before we close out the video. Number 1, tinnitus or tinnitus, however you want to pronounce it, is usually caused by an underlying condition such as age-related hearing loss, an ear injury, or problem with the circulatory system. In particular, repeated exposure to loud noises such as from firing weapons, riding in vehicles, and operating machinery increases soldiers' risk of tinnitus and NIHL. Even single extreme noise exposures can cause hearing loss or tinnitus. This is why this one is number 1, because every single person that joins the military fires a weapon. And that one single time you fire a weapon in basic training to qualify could cause you lifelong ringing in your ears. I have it. I've claimed it. I got 10% for it. So with that being said, that was number 1. Now, because I do think this topic is so important, I'm going to try to make a more detailed video for each of these disabilities and actually explain how the VA rates them. I want to go into what symptoms equate to what VA rating, because some of these things could range from 10% to 30% or 50% dependent on the symptoms. So I'll be going into detail. Like I said, I want to do each of these, but I may just do only 5. If you want to know specifics, leave a comment. Let me know which one you want to actually hear about, and we'll see how it goes. Hey, if you're still watching this video, I can't thank you enough. This is actually the second video on the channel, and this one is very important to me because, like I said, over 86% of veterans believe they're underrated by the VA. And I think it's because most of us just don't know what we can claim. So I hope this video helps you all. If you found the content informative or of value to you, please leave a like on the video. And once again, if you're not subscribed, have some integrity. Subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all on the next video. But be sure to take care of yourself and those around you. Peace. Hey, look, on this channel, I don't make content so that people can find loopholes and exploit any disability system, whether it be the Veteran Affairs disability system, Social Security, or anything else. So do as I did, and when you tell your story, be honest. Talk about the symptoms that you actually have, and don't use the information that I give you to exploit any system for any gain. And that's just my recommendation. And also I would think that since we're all veterans, we're going to do the integral thing anyway. So I still wish you luck on getting your best rating.